Hello, I'm Pastor Len Smith, one of the ministers here at Shepherd's Heart Fellowship in Osceola, Indiana. Today we're going to talk about how we live with the loss, whatever the loss is. We can take care of our emotional needs in 4 different ways. Number 1, it's important to express our feelings. Holding painful feelings inside can create more problems. Maybe some of you have experienced a loss that you just can't get out of your mind. I know personally I have experienced some losses in my life that wake me up at night, years after that loss occurred. And one of the things that I do to fall back to sleep is I will recite the Lord's Prayer. I will recite maybe the 23rd Psalm. I'll recite the first chapter of the book of John. I'll even pray the Lord's Prayer in Spanish to move my mind away from dwelling on the loss that would wake me up. The second way we can take care of our emotional needs is to accept help. Friends and relatives can make difficult moments easier. For many people, their personal faith in Christ and support from spiritual leaders and other members of the faith community can be of great comfort. But I also need to say, if you know somebody is going through grief, don't force yourself on them. I remember in one church that I pastored, there was a husband who, I'll never forget the morning, it was snowing like crazy. And he called me up, and that was even before I had a cell phone. Called on the home phone, and he said, "Pastor, my wife is dead." And she hadn't been ill. She hadn't been going to the doctors. I said, "I can't believe it." There I was in denial. But I said, as soon as I get changed, I'll be right over to the house. And if I remember right, I think I even beat the funeral director in recovering her body. And he was sort of in a state of shock, and the whole congregation was as well. And I remember, I think at the funeral, he told me, he said, "No, Pastor, I'm not going to be at church for quite a while. And I can't tell you when I'm coming back, but I will come back." And I told him, I said, "I'm going to respect your feelings, and I'm going to tell other people to respect your feelings." Sometimes people need time to be alone. The fourth way of living with loss is to ask for help. There are friends and relatives who want to help, but often they don't know what to do. Professional help is also available if feelings of despair and worthlessness persist. And of course, there are self-help groups, there are support groups that people can join in the grieving process. The fourth way to take care of our emotional needs is to be kind to yourself. Some days will be more difficult than others, but you will recover. Avoid making any major decisions until you fully recover from your loss. People who have researched the grieving process have often advised people, do not make any major decisions until 1 year after you've experienced your loss. Sometimes that's workable, sometimes it isn't. How do we live with loss and take care of our physical needs? There are 4 suggestions I have. Number 1, get plenty of rest. You'll have to have more energy to handle your problems and get involved in activities. The second is to stay healthy. Eat a variety of foods and exercise regularly after consulting your health care provider. Avoid alcohol, tranquilizers, and other potentially harmful substances. The third way we can take care of our physical needs is to be alert for problems. What if you develop headaches, nausea, dizziness, heartburn, shortness of breath, weight loss, difficulty sleeping, and lack of energy? That can be a clue that there are physical problems associated with your dealing with this loss. And the fourth way would be to contact your healthcare provider promptly for advice if you have any signs of health problems. Thank you for listening to this third in the series. And again, I invite you to worship with us here at Shepherd's Heart Fellowship. If you don't have a church home, we have worship at 10 a.m. We have Sunday evening Bible study at 5 p.m. and Sunday evening prayer meeting at 6 p.m. Thank you for listening, and we hope that you will join us again for the fourth in our series about the grieving process.